How you doing, everybody? Uh, I don't know
Hey,
who's really out there, but a lot of you probably know me. I'm George Laday. I now live in Round Pond, Maine, but deep down in my heart, I'm from New Jersey. I grew up in New Jersey. I was born in New Jersey. I worked in New Jersey. I got my heart broken in New Jersey. I made money in New Jersey. I did everything in New Jersey. And then what did I do? I
yeah,
went to Chicago in 2005. I had met this woman previously, the year before that. So I got her to come up to a conference, and I got to the conference, and lo and behold, 1 year after the conference, we were married with the stipulation that when I retired from my job at the post office, I was going to bring her back to Maine. And that's what I did. So I've been up here ever since. I am a person who stutters, and humor is a big part of my life. Matter of fact, I think I was maybe blessed, or you want to think about it being cursed with a sense of humor. I am sort of a comedian. I performed at various clubs. I've performed at like 3 or 4 or 5 conferences. So, and it's really a lot of fun to do comedy. And I found that, oh, and I also worked 31 years with the post office as a window clerk. So I used to talk to 150 people every day. And that's where I really honed my comedy skills. Maybe I'll tell you a few later on, but from my job, I met a lot of interesting people, and I had a few interesting things happen to me that were kind of funny, but with my comic ability, I was able to turn them into some pretty funny comedy bits that I've used maybe too much because I meet new people. I do my bit, which I've done at the conferences. Well, anyway, so let's get back to being humor. I found that humor has really helped me deal with stuttering. I even remember as when I was a kid, even though I was, a very severe stutter when I was a kid, in first and second grade, I was like always the class clown. Don't know what I said, but I was always fun. And I always had a lot of fun. And on on our report cards, I get pretty good grades. But then when it came to social skills, I didn't get an unsatisfactory, but there was always one where they would give me an S, but there would be a check mark under the S where it said lacks self control. And I've been that way my whole entire life. And I've only found that, especially with stuttering, if you, it is a lot of humor because humor is great for stress and relaxation. And you know what? Feeling better about yourself because so many things that we worry about in this world don't really mean a whole hill of you know what. Like 4 weeks from tonight, I don't know if I'm going to be too humorous or not because in 4 weeks, D Day, election day, but I'm not going to be politics. So that night, I'm going to be filled with a lot of humor, either one way or the other. So hopefully, but anyways, I regress. I digress. So humor is great for your stress relief. As a matter of fact, in my old hometown of New Jersey, there's a comedy club. And what is it called? The Stress Factory. Because people work all day in their busy day to day lives. And at the end of the night, they just want to relax and chill out. That's why so many movies on TV are comedies because people just want to sit back, relax, and just let all the baloney of what we do every day just come right off of them. And I also found as a person who stutters that not nobody at this age makes fun of me, but when I was a kid and it was when I started working at the post office where there was kind of not the highest caliber of echelon of people, okay, that they kind of sort of would make fun of you. But if they saw me making fun of myself and enjoying it and being the one that was like the in charge of it, then they would find that it's, this guy's all right, and they would say stuff to me and I say him back, and we all became friends with it, and well, stuff like that. And the other thing that I also found, especially when I came up here to Maine, was that I started going to a Monday night trivia thing. And I was new to the area and I was meeting all brand new people. And I was having a kind of a difficulty with my speech. And I could sort of see they were being polite, they were being nice, but I could see there was a little bit of tension there. So I decided that I don't know what I said, but I got like a really hard block. And, and then I just said something like, man, I'm finally glad I got that out. And they just started cracking up because they saw that I was okay with it. So that gave them the opportunity to then laugh about it. Not that they were making fun of me, but they were enjoying the fact that I made the joke about myself. So they didn't have to feel uncomfortable with me. So stuff like that. So I know I just try to look for the humor in everything in my life, and that's what I do. So I got a few other humors, but I think I've spoken too long now. So I'm going to turn this over to my good friend Carol.
Okay, my name's Carol. I've been with NSP, NSA since 1990. My first conference was 1991 in Dallas, Texas, where I met George. We've been friends ever since,
Ever since.
long time. And George always makes me laugh, no matter what. He
Yeah,
makes me laugh. And my husband does too. He makes me laugh a lot. and and that's really positive. It really helps with the stress of everyday life and stuttering. I have a brother who told me a couple years ago that he thought my license plate should be Carol, but I told him no. I like my middle name instead. But anyway, I've had a I've also had a couple friends that have been very supportive of me that don't mm, kind of that help me get through with laughter and things that they've said about me. How I don't give up, even though I'm having a hard time. I power through. Like one of my friends said, I was listening to Carol call somebody and they hung up on her. She called her right back and said, "Do not hang up on me," because told her. So I can't just, you gotta just keep rolling on, right, George? Just keep rolling on. Um, I worked for the federal government with Navy Department and then EPA for 34 and a half years. And and I had a lot of support there. Also a lot of support with people from church. I had a couple of people come up to me after I've been up at the church and read from the Bible. They said, "Oh, I can't do that." I said, "Yes, you can. If I can do it, so can you." And you can't make up words that aren't in there. You gotta read it the way it is.
that's
But
right.
it but it all worked out. So here we are. So I had another experience I wanted to mention. I can find the piece of paper. Oh, here it is, right here. Um, One of the things about me now is I sound like a frog because I have a paralyzed vocal cord. Or, as a friend of mine from the NSA conference says, I sound like a Thanks, phone operator. So I make I make fun of myself for that. Sound like a frog. Ribbit, ribbit. Or next phone operator.
Budweiser,
Well,
Budweiser, yeah.
I got one more experience I want to tell about. When I got married, when Mike and I got married, we got married at my sister's house, and my mother-in-law was the one that married us. We were the first ones he married ever, and he ended up earning more than I did. That was pretty funny. And I always remind him of that. It makes him more comfortable. I said, you know what? I stutter a lot, but you stuttered more than I did. So it all works out in the end. So anybody else have any like to talk about the things that help them with their stuttering?
I could go get if you want.
Jim, you're on mute.
Jim, you're on mute.
Okay. Okay. There's something especially liberating about telling a joke when you stutter. For many years, I ran the NSA chapter in Chicago, and we had a new member. He was an older guy, and kind of grumpy, kind of a sourpuss, and his first couple of meetings, he didn't really say much. He just kind of sat there and scowled. And then, must have been his third or fourth meeting. At the beginning of the meeting, he stood up and told a joke. It was a really old joke. He'd been saving it for a long time, and he kind of missed the punchline, but it was a joke and we all laughed. And thereafter, at the start of every meeting, he would get up and tell a joke. And, I don't know how many years he had been waiting to get up and tell a joke, but it was so wonderful to see, and we were so happy to celebrate that with him.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's like sort of what happened to me back in, I would always go to these NSP conferences, NSA, whatever. I don't know what it was at the point. And then somebody asked me next year in Asheville, Tennessee, if I would want to get up there in front of, I don't know how many people, couple hundred people, and if I would do a stand-up comedy act. So my first reaction was like, yeah, I'll do it for sure. And then I prepared it for like 3 months. And it's funny that when I was at home trying to think up jokes and stuff, and I was saying to myself, you know what? Stuttering is easy. Comedy is hard. And because it's true. And then I found that something that was unreal for me was that when I went up in front of the people with a microphone in my hand, I'm pretty fluent. I was like, damn, this is pretty cool. And, so I did my act, and then it was all over. It was like, now I know why God did not make me a stand-up comic. Because I went crazy after my comedy act. People were coming up to me, they were buying me drinks. I was drinking, I was having fun. People that never ever talked to me were coming up there, and I know that if I ever became a professional, I probably would have been one of those true Hollywood stories maybe of people that went over the edge because of fame. Stuttering keeps me humble, seriously. But but I have a kind of a humorous one that happened to me when I worked at the post office. Not with one of my customers, but we had this other letter carrier in my office that stuttered. As a matter of fact, he was the guy that introduced me to Speakeasy in New Jersey, which led me to go to the NSA, which led me to meet my wife, Hannah, so on and so forth. So that guy was pretty instrumental in my life. Okay, so this was one afternoon when cigarette smoking was still allowed in the post office. It was only me and him and this other old janitor guy that used to smoke a big cigar, like walk around with a cigar. Somehow he dropped the cigar ashes into this big pile of mail. The stuff starts going on fire. So the guys told me and this other guy stuttered, call the fire department. Call the fire department. I said, I'm not calling the fire department. The other guy stutter said, I'm not calling the fire department either. I just said to him, let's just let the thing burn. And we ran outside rather than making a telephone call. You know, somebody else would have said, oh yeah, but we were like, screw this. We didn't start the fire. Let the guy who started the fire. He's throwing on us guys. Why don't you guys call the fire department? We're like, oh. He looked at me like, you know, anybody else would have, but we just like, we're not doing it. We would rather have the post office burned to the ground than us make a phone call. True story. Anyway,
Well,
So-
what happened?
I guess it wasn't a big. I guess somebody took a. If somebody took some water, it was in a garbage can. I think they put some water on it and they put it outsiders. All I know is we were like, we're out of here. They don't pay us enough. So that was funny. Stuff like that. So I'm sure like just about everybody has had something humorous like that. I mean, I don't want to dominate this whole thing because I got like most of you have already heard all my comedy bits, and I'd rather give the opportunity to other people to contribute. So come on, somebody.
I
Patrice,
have
how are you? Okay, hey
something
Vicky.
Hey, Vic.
of first of all, Carol, Steve told me to tell you hi.
Okay.
Uh,
Got my
uh,
thing
and-
going.
And at our last chapter meeting, one of the questions that was asked was about people laughing at you, and several people had stories about how people had laughed at their stuttering, and they had felt really bad, oh, I raised my hand, and I and but no, sometimes something happens with our speech that really is funny.
No doubt.
and I ask if anyone had an example of that? And I said, I'll I'll I I'll go first. So I told the story many years ago, back in my young and single days. Um, uh, I uh, I I did a l- lot of work with Main Street Theater, a theater group here in Houston. And so one day I went by there, and and a friend of mine was in the lobby, so uh, uh, and I started chatting, and uh a- and my speech was was really good. I was just chatting away, and 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 I could hear noise in the theater. There was hammering and sawing and stuff like that, and and I knew that there were some people who were busy building the set of for the next production. Oh, my friend and I just 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 kept on chatting, and then one uh, uh, one of the guys who a- a- actually, he was the technical director at the time, and he 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 had been busy working on this set. He came out into the lobby, and 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 he was hot and sweaty and had his shirt off, and he looked really good, and
Yeah.
and and, and immediately my fluent speech crashed and burned right there on the spot, and 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 my friend Holly, the that the that I had been talking to uh I just burst out laughing, and I was I was like, I know this actually is really funny. And I started laughing too. I I I mean, she was my friend. She uh 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 didn't didn't mean to insult insult me or hurt me. It was just funny. And so he both got a good laugh out of it.
That's funny. Yeah, like something like that once happened to me in the club. I saw this girl, I wanted to ask her to dance and stuff. So I went over to her and we were dancing and we started to chat a little bit. And she smiled at me, like, said to me in a cute, sort of flirty way, "Do I make you nervous?" And I said to her, "No, baby, don't flatter yourself. I stutter."
Hmm.
She thought I was stuttering because of her, that she was making me nervous. I go, "No, this is how I talk." So anyway, that's one of the things that have happened to me in my time. And anyway, so hey, Patrice, how are you? Anything you'd like to share?
Unmute.
Unmute, Patrice.
Claudia had her hand raised.
Oh, yeah, somebody else, please. I can't really see everybody. So anybody want to
Yep.
speak now?
Claudia.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yep. Go ahead.
I am here. I am here.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. My whole family has a wicked humor. I have two brothers. I'm the only one who stutters. Oh, my battery is going down. Hold on a second. I just realized that. I am convinced that my dad survived Bougainville because of his humor. Nobody can tell me otherwise. And he kept that humor until the day he died. But I have a really funny story that I almost died, not literally. I used to be a long time ago in my younger years an interior horticulturist. And I went from store to store. And one of my stops were a lot of the Bloomingdales and the one in Manhasset, the furniture one, always put on these huge special events. They put on this one special event and they paid, I don't know how much they paid, but they had the comic Henny Youngman come in.
Take my wife, please. Yeah.
Pardon?
Take my wife, please. Yeah.
And my younger brother, who's 6 years younger than me, and must have been between 10 and 13 years old at that time. From the time he was about 6 years old, was a huge Henny Youngman fan. This little kid knew all his jokes backwards and forwards. So when I told him he was coming, he said, "I have to be there. I have to be there."
Huh.
So I brought him with me to work. And we stayed and we got front row seats. And it wasn't really a real stage, it was more of a platform.
And so Mr. Youngman was like about 4 feet from us. So we were front row center. And anytime he told a joke, Warren would lean over to me and tell me the punchline just loud enough for Mr. Youngman to hear it. And he kept doing it his entire spiel. And I was so embarrassed. And I kept knocking Warren and saying, knock it off, knock it off. And of course, Mr. Youngman could hear me saying that and see me doing that. And he's got his violin, you know, the people old enough to remember him knew he had his whole routine. But it was so embarrassing. And, you know, Warren had to run up to him afterwards and tell him how much he loved him. And of course, Mr. Youngman said, yeah, I could tell, you know, that type of thing. And there's a lunchroom upstairs, you know, a private lunchroom. And I felt I had to go up afterwards and humble myself to Henny Youngman and leave Warren downstairs. And I don't remember what I said or how I said it. I just remember I had to go. And he was sitting there with the store president, and I had to bow down to to these two men and like, I apologize. It was the most stressful thing I think I ever had to do with all the stuff in my life that I had been through. That was the worst. It was really funny, but it was the worst. And I bum rushed Warren out of the store so he didn't see him on his way out. But I enjoyed that,
My
really.
question is, what did you tell your parents when you got home?
Oh, Warren told them
Do
everything.
you remember? Oh,
I didn't have to say anything. Warren told them everything.
because
Yeah.
nowadays the comedian would have went after him right on this.
Yeah, but I mean, Henny
yeah.
Youngman must have been almost 80 at that point, like
Really?
70 to
Okay. Yeah.
80 at that point. He wasn't a young man, but he was still very vital.
Yeah.
But he was still showing up on Jay Leno, I think, had already taken over the Johnny Carson show
See, when did he die?
and stuff. And, you know, if Warren had gone up to the lunchroom, Warren would have been telling him dirty jokes because that's Warren's shtick, and it still is. He can't call me without telling me at least 5 new ones every phone call. And I end up telling Pam a couple of them every time I see her. But yeah,
That's funny.
it's good. So,
Yeah, I mean, it's something that you'll always remember.
oh
See,
yeah,
that's the
yeah,
great thing about stuff that's humorous. When something happens that's funny, you don't remember the pain of it, but you remember the humor that you got from it all. Actually, it was good. Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody else like to share? Come on, if you don't want me to do my comedy act, please, somebody share. Please, somebody,
Please,
please do.
Patrice, are you wanting to say something? Your mic is on, off. Your bottom left-hand corner. There, you're set.
There. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Oh, yay.
Mm.
Just something quick. It's great when you can laugh at yourself. And I don't know how many years ago I was with another group of mine. We used to message, old-fashioned message each other. And it was very late Eastern Standard Time, and I was still in the chat room, and I was typing a message, and I don't know, I had typed the same word like at least 3 times, maybe 4. And I looked down and I said, dang, I can't believe it. I also stutter on paper. And at first people they didn't know how to react in the chat room. And I said, yeah, I'm just poking fun at myself. And yeah, and to this day, I still like, I'm apt to correct it now, but I just like, I can't believe I just did this, and what I expressed to my friends at the time. And I have a couple of friends, when they send me like a Christmas card or birthday card, they'll like do the like P dash P dash P dash P, once again, like you're stuttering on paper. And I don't mind. I laugh at it. I think, it's okay. It's okay. And I just think, I mean, just laughing at yourself is a good thing. I just think it's positive. So just a little something.
So how hot is it now in Arizona?
Okay.
Please
Let me hang on, George. Right now it's 105.
get out.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
105.
Yeah, we're 5:45 here, Arizona time. And yes, it's still, yes, still 100. Oh, we just
Right.
dropped 104. We're gonna get the sweaters
Ooh.
out at any moment.
Anna wants to start a
104.
fire tomorrow.
We've had in incredible heat. A couple of days ago was 110. And this is very unusual for October. Usually it's a very cool between like 90, 95, 96. And we're frying here, but it's okay by me. I'll take it any day over 20 with wind chill factors. So,
Yeah.
but we're actually hoping, that it'll drop eventually. But
Eventually, yeah.
it's hot, but it's Arizona and it's the desert. So, that's the way it is. But I don't mind. I don't mind. I love wearing summer clothes in October.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and just for in informational purposes, what's it like up in, the Grand Maine?
Well, I'm still holding out, not starting a fire in a fireplace, but that's what Hannah wants to do tomorrow. Let's start a fire in a fireplace. I'm like, no, not yet, but it's not that
Mm,
bad here yet. It's like, it's been 60s and stuff, but when you wake up here, it's like around 29 or so. It's like kind of chilly all of a
oh, we
sudden.
were real chilly this morning. I woke up and it was
82?
77.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's cold this morning.
Cold wave coming in, yeah.
Hmm.
Well, it's so hot in Arizona, Patrice, because you're up there now. You just bring the heat.
I
with you.
appreciate
Just
Yeah.
bring all the heat.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, you got the
Sure.
two bad girls of the NSA now in Arizona. You and Tammy Bettinger,
Hmm.
right?
Oh,
Two
yes,
bad
yes.
girls of the
She prepared me
Yeah.
ahead of time. So,
Yeah, she's a good people. Yeah.
yes, yes. I need to make plans to see her. We're
Oh,
only
yeah.
20 minutes away.
Come on, let's go.
You're right.
You could take an Uber even.
I take Ubers all the time.
Sure.
I hate
Take an Uber.
driving here.
And
Bunch of
you
crazy
take your
people.
phone, just put the
Crazy
Uber.
people out here.
Hey, let's get back on topic.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
well,
Well,
let's
we
start
were,
a quick
we were
speech.
kind of
I
joking.
I
We were
I would
joking a little bit.
actually I would actually like to comment on what Patrice said about her stuttering in writing. I thought that was really cool that your friends are okay with writing PPPPPATRICE on your cards and stuff. I mean, that is a huge, in my opinion, step that, your friends are comfortable to do that. And you in turn are comfortable, like, allowing that. Like, even at my age, I don't think I would want the
What's-
postman or any of my friends to see that written out on, I mean, I feel so confident and comfortable with who I am, but I'm not sure I'd want to see that on an envelope, like as a Christmas
Yeah,
card or something. I don't think I'd like that. And
well, that's why I brought it up, for me, the ability to, laugh at myself, have humor, about myself and taking it in the way they want me to take it. I mean, they're not making fun of me,
right.
and I know I know the difference, but I just it's good. I think part of humor is to be able to laugh at yourself. Yeah.
I totally get that, but the part about it going through the mail, the postal office, and then like
Oh,
I
yeah.
live in an apartment building, so like, like sometimes my mail is not left in my mailbox, it's like left in
Yeah.
the vestibule, so like other people can see my mail, and I just don't know how comfortable I would be, with the exception of like, a best friend, but I don't have a best friend living in my apartment here. I don't know if I'd be comfortable having somebody see PPPPPAMELA, So
Yeah,
that
but
was
do you
like,
think if somebody didn't know you and they saw that, did you think they would actually figure out what that actually means? I don't think they would. And let me tell
maybe
you
not,
something.
but
Let me tell you
I
something. Your mailman knows everything about everybody. I'm retired from the Postal Service. You want to find out anything about anybody on your route, talk to the mailman. Not by, not by opening up your mail, which they don't, but just seeing what you receive in the mail, believe me,
Yeah.
they know as much as they know about this knows about you too.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Yeah.
go on.
I know, I'm just saying it just
Oh, yeah,
struck
yeah, you
a
know, that's
point
fine.
in me that
Mhm.
I'm not sure how comfortable I would be with
Oh.
that, you know? I know people know I stutter, yes, duh, I'm very open about that, but having it written somewhere where other non-stutterers in my life would see that, I'm just like, "Oh god," like, I don't know if I like that. So,
And that's
it's
fine.
just an observation.
No,
no,
well,
because
in interesting perspective, Pam, definitely just a different way of looking at it.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Over the years, I've just had to learn how to laugh at myself because
Mhm.
I'm not just stuttering, a lot of other things. So
Yeah.
it's certainly been helpful, and fun for me. I
Yeah.
don't mind. I don't
And
mind,
that's
but
what
I
we
understand. Understand where you're coming from too. Like I said, we're looking at it from different points of view.
right, right. What do others who've not contributed yet, what do others think about this point?
Hmm.
I'm not sure I would want it either. I don't know. I've been thinking about it.
Mhm. That's okay.
Yeah, each to their own, you know?
Mhm. Mhm.
oh,
Mhm.
look at the little kitty cat.
Oh,
Oh, how cute.
oh, she is adorable, Vicky.
Mhm.
Her name is Ginger.
Oh, hi,
Yeah.
Ginger. Mm,
He looks like a ginger.
mm. She's a cutie.
Mm. Does anybody else want to make any comments?
Mm, mm.
We've
This
shocked
is the
everyone into silence.
opportunity. Hey, Maria, how are you? You have anything you want to share?
Oh, it's
Hi.
Maria.
Hi.
Hi. Yes, I'm a special education teacher and I go into houses to teach the kids. The kids are really small. Uh, s- this one time I went in into the house and
Here, I'll
I
be right back. I'll be right back.
and I stuttered. Um, the 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 kids hands asked asked me to come with her into a room, and I did. She started to speak in tongues over me and like da 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 with her hands going and and spitting on me to get all of the the demons out of me, out of me. That really happened.
That's fun.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it was an experience that I will never forget. And so all hey home, I just laughed my head off because lady, you are not going to fix my stuttering by doing tongues over me, and I am not possessed with any demons. I stutter, and that's how I talk. So yeah,
Yeah.
it was some experience. I tell you, I was just like, what is she doing? Okay, just do it if you think this is going to help me not stutter, but it was not successful, as you can see. Yes. That was pretty much my funny experience, you could say. But at the time, I was just like, what's going on?
Uh-huh. Mhm.
Anyways.
I don't know how I would have reacted to Daddy, actually, because one time one time in this time in the post office, I was stuttering pretty good, and I used to spit a lot. So one of the guys came up to me and they opened up an umbrella. That was a little. I kind of crossed the line a little bit. Anyway, anybody else would like to share?
Wait a minute, George, how did you respond to that?
I probably said, well, let's put it this way. I kind of said what a man would say to another guy when there's no women around as you're drinking, like, go blank your blank self. That's all. And we were friends, but that's just what or here's something else they used to do to me, right? You want to talk about working at the post office? I'll tell you, I'm good. This is what I had to develop a sense of humor. I'd be working at the window, and sometimes people in the back would hear me go, whoop, 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 right? Somebody bought a train whistle, okay? And when I was up there going, woo, 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 I hear in the back of the post office, woo, woo. How do you react with that? You just tell them to go shove it or something, but that's how it is, and he's a friend of mine. This is what my friends used to do to me. Or they had this little thing that used to go pit stop or something, and they would run that through. I'd be working at the window and I would hear in the back, pit stop, woo, woo. You just have to accept it for where it's from, and if you're gonna go crazy on them, they're not gonna accept you. So you gotta kind of adjust, and that's when I developed my humor, where I would say to these guys, I was the puppet master. By my jokes, I was controlling them. I'd make them laugh. I would do this, whatever I wanted to do. So I turned it on them by me being in charge.
Mm-hmm.
And I retired. I got my pension, and I'm here in Maine, and all is good.
Talking about humor.
It's this whole world is humor. This last year is a joke. It could either make you cry or you gotta laugh about it, because some of these people that are in charge of our country or want to be in charge of our country, they're clowns. but they have the power. That's what's so
So not
scary.
gonna slip
We're not
over.
going politics,
Nope. Nope.
but there's no 47 on the side of this head. That's all I'm saying. All right,
Okay. Who
that's
else
good.
would like
Yeah, please,
to chat that hasn't yet?
please, somebody.
Well, I, I have I have one more, but it's short. Uh, one time I was going to have surgery in my mouth, and 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 when I I would tell someone about it, I was always very careful to say mouth surgery because I was afraid that if then that if I said oral surgery, I I I I I I would have a block on surgery and people's eyes would get bigger and bigger and bigger, fearing what I was going to tell them.
Yeah, right. That's
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that could easily happen. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremiah made a good point in the chat. Jeremiah, would you be willing to share that verbally?
Yes, I can. Hello, everybody. I'm Jeremiah.
Hi,
So
Jeremiah.
the two things I want to say is just like because I'm 25 years old. So yeah, it's pretty cool that as people who stutter, it's like humor is what I mean is what like, it's like what we all do to try to like not avoid stuttering wise though, but just it's very yeah it's very cool to see that we were all on the same page. It doesn't matter like our age, but just like humor comes and it applies like really well with our stutter. And then like what I said in the chat was it says it sounds like when it's I wrote in the chat it sounds like when we make jokes about a stutter I've been comfortable people might add on to our jokes of saying oh okay like since it's funny that they can make jokes about their stutter then I can too but most of the time it is hurtful though because in all the stories that I was hearing because it sounded like everybody's like a close friends, everybody's best friends were making jokes like you saying, Mr. George, about the umbrella, and then about I'm sorry, I've got like who's writing about the letter, with the PPP, and then like with the name wise. So yeah, it just made me think. I was just thinking it was just like a maybe there needs to be like a conversation with our close friends, like okay, hey, you could do those jokes, but like maybe like not as publicly. So yeah, that's just something that I observed. So thank you for me share. Yeah, that's my
Mhm.
That's good. Sounds good. Yeah. Mm. Anybody else have anything to share? Janelle, hi. You got anything to share? No, oh, it's okay. That's fine.
I just tried to find one of my cards with what I just talked about, but I couldn't find one real quick. But uh, I thought I could come up with one, but I couldn't. Perhaps at another time.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I had a quick question to you. It was like Patricia. So
Mhm.
is that like every time or like is that like just like a joke here and there like with the letter and your name? I'll just leave it
Oh,
like that.
no, not every time. Not every time. In fact, it's kind of lessened a little over time. But I think after, when I was in the chat room and made the comment about typing multiple times. I don't know, I guess maybe, because I was comfortable laughing at myself, that they just, did it one time, or I think I can give you a better example. Hang on just a second. This I can come up with in a second. I don't know if you can see this, but this mug that I have here, can you see it? It's kind of funny.
You can, yeah.
Yeah.
Zoom in on it. Some people can't start their day without coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can read it. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody gave me this and it was
True.
funny. I laughed. I thought, oh, what a great mug. In fact, knowing about our Zoom this evening, I actually had my coffee this morning out of this cup, so it was easy to grab. But yeah, it's just being able to, laugh at yourself, have the, humor. We're going back to why we're here, the topic tonight. And I just think, and I think it makes people more comfortable, if you can,
Definitely.
if you can laugh at yourself, and then they don't get all anxious, like, what do I say? What do I do? What I don't do? But the fact that when I was in the chat room and I typed a word 3 or 4 times, I just, laughed about it. And, they laughed, they laughed with me, not at me. And of course, we all know there's a huge difference between the two. So.
See, and I'm picturing my cat pushing that off the table.
The mug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's good. That's good, Claudia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of need to go here, dear friends.
6 o'clock there.
Yeah. When is it?
It's only 6 o'clock.
Oh, it's dinner time.
Oh, okay.
I know, it's 9 o'clock,
9 o'clock
your
here.
time. Yeah, these
Hour past bedtime.
time changes are nuts. But this has been wonderful. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, George. As
See you,
always,
Patrice.
I've enjoyed this very much. I'm glad I got my technology to work. I got like right on, and I unmuted real fast. I really, this was like my really release. I was like, oh my God, I'm actually here. I did it. But thank you so much. Take care, everybody.
Yeah, Patrice.
Bye.
Okay.
It was
Bye-bye.
nice seeing you again.
Yes, great seeing you, Claudia. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, I see you.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Well, if I can get out of here. Well, I thought I was gone.
Would you like me to exit you?
Oh, thank you, Pam. Thank you for your knowledge. I thought I had it.
Oh, well. Bye. He's gone. So. Anybody else have anything they'd like to share?
Yeah,
The opportunity.
but sometimes when you have a group of people who stutter, that lends itself to funnier situations. One of the first national conferences I attended, I think it was in Denver, a bunch of us went out for lunch, and there were like 6 of us sitting around a table in a restaurant. The server comes up and the first person stutters. And then the second person stutters, and then the third person stutters. Well, by this time, the server is starting to look anxious. And after a couple more people stuttered, we took pity on her and said, yeah, we all really do stutter. We're here at a stuttering convention. But that was a hoot.
Yeah, I got one like that. That also happened at an NSA convention. It was in Buffalo in like 97. A whole group, the whole bus was filled of stutterers, and we were going into Canada. So as we got up to the customs, this big custom agent got onto the bus, and he went up to everybody. He asked them, country of origin, and it was wrong, USA, and then this one guy from Canada had the biggest block that I've ever heard in my life. He finally got it out. I could just imagine that custom agent that night when he went home and said to his wife, "You should have seen what happened to me today." I mean, he wasn't expecting it. Country of origin. Yeah. That's funny. Anyway.
Yeah, the same thing happened to us down in Austin for the 20, I think it was the 2021, because like yeah, it was like down like in Austin, so like it was like the Texas barbecue where like you ordered at the counter and then like you sat down. So it was like it was back to back to back of people studying live and then just it was always funny memory.
Oh yeah, this it's it. People don't expect it. That's why when we go to our conferences every year, the staff at the hotels are told in advance that we're coming in there. So don't be surprised. So and just as long as you give them money and you leave tips at the end of the day, that's all they care about. Whether you stutter or not. That's all. They want the green. But what can I tell you? Okay. Anybody else?
Casey, what's on your mind?
Nothing, Rush. I'm just listening, enjoying
Okay.
all the stories.
Okay, I just thought I
Just
saw.
hanging back.
I thought I saw a story like ring.
Milling in my head.
Okay.
I don't know if I have I don't know if I have any funny stories. Nothing that I've dealt with regard to stuttering, I don't think has ever really been that funny. Maybe I need to lighten up somewhat. I don't know, but it's just a lot of the looks that you get, and maybe I just need to lighten up some. I don't know. So
Oh, so like maybe
always a work in progress. Right, go ahead.
like you're suggesting like if you get a look from somebody that maybe if you just kind of like lighten up and not let it bother you as much.
Maybe. I know I told a story at conference. It was, I mean, it was, I don't know. I don't know if it was funny or not. I guess.
Well, I guess you have to tell us now.
I don't know if anyone was in that session with me. My son is actually sitting here and he was there with me when this whole incident happened. He's looking at me now like, what? I was volunteering at a golf tournament hosted at his school. It was like a year and a half ago, like May of 23. So about a year and a half ago, we were volunteering at a tournament at a really nice golf club. And we got there early in the morning, you know, set up, did everything. And then I think I had gone home on a break to, you know, rest. And then I came back after lunch and I was going through the little, you know, those little gates that, you know, you have to go through, you know, private and fancy and all of that. So I get to the gate and I have to say, I'm here with the school, with the golf tournament, you know, whatever I was trying to say. Of course, I got stuck. As soon as I got to the window, she's like, hi, who are you here to see? Or why are you here? And, you know, I don't know what I was trying to say, but whatever it was, I could not get it out. I was stuck. Whether it was, you know, I'm here with the school, I'm here with the golf tournament. And she just gave me a look and was, I don't know, and I lost my you know what. And when I finally got it out, I guess I finally got the words out and I said, I stutter, like, and she just, nope, didn't care. She was mean, she was nasty. And as I finally was able to go into the golf club, I will not say what I said on this call that day. I yelled several obscenities at her. I was just so upset and hurt. He's laughing now. My son's laughing. I'm such a good role model. No, I just remember just being, you know, I was stuck and frustrated and like, just darn it, I can't get the words out that I need to say right now. And I just, as she finally let me in and I stutter, she just didn't care. And I just, like I said, I yelled a whole bunch of obscenities to her and I wasn't proud of that. I was just, I was frustrated at the situation. And I think I got in, you know, once I actually got inside and I was able to park, I had to just sit there and just like calm down for a minute. I was so upset and I just so, I mean, I don't know if it was funny. When I told the story at conference and I yelled the words that I said, I said the words I said, people laughed. So that kind of made it funny just because, you know, I normally wouldn't, I don't think I've ever said that to anyone in my entire life. But that one situation just frustrated me to no end. And, you know, she just had no, doesn't matter. I could have had one eye and one you know, leg and it wouldn't have mattered. She was just going to be mean and nasty. It didn't matter what you did or how you looked or what you said or how you said it. So anyway, they
So
laughed.
that's humor because now when you tell that story, that's a humor story. So you use
I
that
guess.
now to relieve stress, right?
I guess. I mean, I look back on it and I don't know if I would really put anyone at fault per se. I mean, I lost my you know what.
No,
I
you
lost my
didn't.
temper. Huh?
No, you didn't. Just remember one thing. You never stutter when you curse. Think about it.
Yeah, I
Have
don't
you
think I
ever-
did. I
Huh?
definitely didn't stutter on those words. We'll just
Just
leave
think
it at
about
that.
it. I've never heard a person stutter when they curse.
You're
F
saying
F
the
S
F
S
word
S
or
S
the
S.
S word or
Yeah.
whatever.
So
Yeah,
so
I know,
next
George.
time that you come to this, I'm here for this effing golf tournament. I'm with the effing school. And you get right in. Never stutter when you
I
curse.
don't know if I would do that, but I
But
mean,
you
like I said,
get it out. I went
I
to
was frustrated. She wouldn't let me go until I got the word out, and I just couldn't get the words out. And
so
when I
you would have
finally did,
said,
she had no
this-
mercy.
but next time, just say it. I used to go, no, I'm not gonna that's an old anyway.
Now you're making me laugh, but anyway. So that's my one, you know, kind of funny story where I just lost it and yelled words and you know. So have a
Thank
little sympathy. Have a little something there. Okay, Pam, there you go. You got the story out of me.
There you go. That
Thank
was
you
good.
for sharing that.
Good. So,
Uh,
All right, George, Carol, do you want?
I think we're doing great. I think we've basically hit the whole thing. It's been great. It's been fun. You know,
Yeah.
I just hope we all kind of remember that it's never as bad as we think it is, and
No, it isn't.
smile, and just say it is what it is, and just put on a happy face. I don't know what else to say. And the people that make fun of you are not worth it,
That's right.
because quality good people don't make fun of us. It's the people that you wouldn't want to associate with anyway. So you're better than them.
Oh, has anybody seen my message I left on the chat? There's a movie called The Penguin.
Oh, TV
Oh,
show.
yeah, Penguin.
The TV show called The Penguin. And and the young man in there. So you haven't seen it, you should watch it.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe Mark Winsky was a consultant on the show
Oh, he
for
was. Wow.
teaching the stuttering, teaching the character how to really stutter. So you can look that up. He's posted it several times on his Facebook account. George and Carol, thank you so much for hosting tonight's session. You did a great job. Want to just let you all know that our next NSA Connects for older adults will be on December 10th, hosted by Paula Campbell
Ooh,
Schwab and Hannah Laday.
Oh,
wow.
We'll give you the details on the topic soon. And again, thank you for coming, and see you all soon. Bye.
hi, thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Hey, everybody.